Ugh, okay. Give me 1 second, man. Gotta get comfortable. Let's see. Let me close all of this stuff. Alright. Alright, cool. Midday Fire Pro. Work is work. I'm not gonna talk about that. And get some gaming in. It's been a while since I played Fire Pro. I think last time I played it was what, January, I believe. It's always fun to come back to it. The way I had it set up way back in the past was I wanted something I could just pick up and play occasionally, whether that's just like messing with edits or throwing some modded matches together. And I think it's at a good point now. I don't really need any more edits. I might make my own stuff, make my own custom guides every now and then. I still have to flesh out the Empower promotion, but everything else is pretty much set. So let's see, and this is all locked to like 2019 or something, like 2020, so I'm not going to have like up-to-date Bullet Club and stuff. I really don't care about that. But today we're probably going to do some more work on edits. The territories are done, which is a big deal for me. I should probably go to the managers and just set them as done, because I don't think I'm ever going to modify them at all. They're managers. We might do that. Otherwise, I think I was doing Pro Wrestling Legends last time. I got most of All Japan done. I'm gonna go to the Attitude Era though. I'm gonna go all the way to, excuse me, Monday Night Wars, and I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna start fooling around with some of these guys, because it is an era that I enjoyed, so why not? I was watching some videos about WWE 2K26. They were kind of talking about the Attitude Era version of the game and the ringside pass and the fact that you don't actually get all the guys up front. You know, I guess got me thinking about the Monday Night Wars again. I think I'm gonna go with that. The way I normally do this is it's a little bit of creativity. There's like a little bit of modifying edits, but it's not a whole lot. Normally I'll look at an edit that I want to put into a match, then I'll open that edit in edit mode, and they're all pre-existing edits that I would have touched at some point, but I'll do some final cleanup on stuff like mainly movesets, maybe a little bit of logic, some of the background extended move list, and the idea that once I'm done here I won't touch them again, right? The thing about this game is that you can mess with it indefinitely, but if you're going to have a decent library of edits that gets old really quickly, like I did with the Territories guys, I just want to kind of set it and forget it so I can just put matches together without thinking about it. The head, yeah, I think Lanky did that, didn't he? It's a good one. Yeah, some nice custom moves in here. Yeah, this is Lanky's. He did the plus on his moves, which I like. That's smart. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so what's the best way to handle this? Should I just go to... What I normally do is I'll take the finisher flag off and I'll add it again. Which I might do, just because it's so simple. I'm also not a huge fan of voices on the edits. At least not on the real edit, you know? Because they sound a specific way in real life, so if you're not getting the actual voice, I don't think it's worthwhile. Ooh, sorry. It's been a while since I've messed with this. So generally, I just make them silent now. Like, there are custom guys where I have the voices, and I have like the customized wrestler grunts when they're in submissions and stuff like that. They're cool, the cool flavor edits, but I'm not doing a whole lot with them. Not enough really change here. I mean, sure. What's the double one? Oh, the double finger pistol. Okay. Double finger raise. Why is that 0% though? Yeah. There's like a few things like that you gotta change. I already had the D-low leg drop. Yeah, that makes sense. I understand why. Yeah, because it used to be the priority into the leg drop. That makes sense. Yeah, so if you stick around, you might see some stuff, but for the most part, I don't think it's gonna be that interesting. If I'm being honest, if you're here for the matches, it's gonna be a mix. I don't know about that. Yeah, sure, okay. That's fine. And then extended move list, which is stuff in the background that you cannot see. Let's see. I guess he'd be pro wrestling, wouldn't he? And basically, it's just adding additional moves that can trigger based on conditions. They have it pretty basic right now. It's just a set of moves, so I have some variety for like basic moves like strikes and things like that. Nothing crazy. And then I'll fine tune it a little bit, just so it makes sense for the guys. Yeah. Because like once upon a time, I was just adding moves like crazy and just kind of putting them in moves list and setting them up for the future. So I want to make sure that I'm actually using all that stuff, and it's not a situation where I just got a bunch of stuff and it just sits there, never to be used or touched again, you know? Let's see. Yeah, coral kick. I've never really liked the coral kick, but I can leave it for this guy, I guess. It's like one thing with Fire Pro you have to be really careful about is loading up your edits with a bunch of stuff. Loading up your game with a bunch of stuff for one, and then loading up your edits with a bunch of stuff as well. Because if you're not careful, it can get really bloated. Like I think a good example is the workshop. I know that a lot of people like edits with a lot of stuff and they like quote unquote complete edits, but you know, they can get really bloated depending on how far the creator is willing to go. And then if your game is loaded with edits like that, it's going to become unwieldy really quickly. So what you want to do is you want to have like a curated collection at that point, because it is possible to have edits with a lot of stuff, but you don't want like 100 edits and they all have like 20 something pieces. It kind of lends itself to bloat for this game. You can really bloat up your save quickly if you're not paying attention. And then this game in particular has the memory leak issue, I believe, where I think it's for texture specifically. If you have too many textures loaded into memory, it can crash. So you can load into a match with, like, say for example, a tag team match with 2 edits that have a bunch of custom parts in a custom ring, you know, even before you think about mods, and that can crash your game. And it can get pretty annoying after a while because there's really no documentation on how to deal with it. So you have to be careful about stuff like that. Let's do Hardcore Holly. I like Hardcore Holly. I heard that he was an asshole backstage. The actual guy who played Holly was an asshole, but I liked watching him. Nice mid-card guy. You can do Hardcore versus D-Low, and he's also pretty simple. Mid-card guys are pretty simple to modify in this manner, because they're not doing anything crazy. It's like when you get into like the top card guys, that's when you have to start making like specific sequences and, you know, special moves that only they would do and stuff like that. But the mid-card guys, you normally just need the usual stuff. Nothing crazy. Yeah, so that's what is it, Alabama Slam? Yeah. Okay, which is easy enough. I don't think I have Crash. Pretty sure I don't. What I like about the Attitude Era guys when it comes to Fire Pro is they're pretty straightforward. So they're not really doing anything ridiculous. It's like the NJPW and AJPW guys and the Japanese promotions, even the luchadors, Mexican promotions can do a lot of crazy stuff. Though getting the game to mimic that can be tough. When it's like the American guys, the 80s, 90s, it's not that bad. I don't mind it as much. Double drop kick. Yeah, this is an Avenger special. He makes nice template edits, I think. But I feel like at the end of the day, you have to be willing to go in there and do some work yourself. Otherwise, it's not gonna fit all that well. But credit to him though. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people just leave out. So it makes it kind of hard to just pick up and play. Like a lot of his edits, you can just kind of pick them up and just put them into a match and they'll play. Like they're not always perfect and they're going to miss some things and maybe you need to come in there and modify a few things, but they tend to work more often than not. Diving knee drop. Like for example, he tends to fill out the last two priorities with double team pins, which makes sense because we started with 3. Remember in early access, it was just Fire Pro Wrestling Returns basically with a new coat of paint. So we had the 3, and then they added another 2, and then I think Carl had the early version of the mod pack that allowed you to add up to like 8 or something. And then at that point, it's like Spike was still kind of hand in hand with the community, so to speak, since it was early access and everybody was excited. So they see the community come up with stuff, they'd be like, that's pretty cool, can we do it? So they kind of learn from that. So it's like a really cool back and forth. So they kind of saw the mods doing that. They ended up adding 10 slots, in response to that, which is how we got up to 10. And then at some point they added another 2, just because they could, I guess. It was nice. It was nice of them to do it. Yeah, but early day Fire Pro was definitely different. Everybody was excited, there wasn't really much animosity. That came a little later with like a lot of the DLC pricing and stuff. Ooh, maybe I should have kept that. Hold on, I'm gonna redo that. Yeah, but the animosity came later on. And obviously it's not all deserved, but at the end of the day, Spike is the company. And if you're like the team lead for a company, you're gonna take the blame for a lot of stuff. That's just how it is. Yeah, but it was good stuff. What else was I saying? I'm not just rambling. I'm gonna ramble a lot. Gonna have to deal with that. Yeah, but a lot of it was like learning from each other. There's stuff that Spike didn't do or couldn't do, so mods did. And then later on, Spike was able to do them, so mods could remove them. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, so like the priorities were 1, and like a lot of the guys that were making early edits, they had to start with 3 priorities. Guys like maybe Senator Phillips is a good example. Started with the 3 because they were familiar with edits from Returns, and then they tried to update edits to incorporate 5, and then Spike added 10, and then a lot of updating and back and forth. Eventually it became too much, which is why you'll have like a lot of Avengers edits have the last 2 slots as double team pins. Even though double team moves in this game are really terrible. They're really hard to use consistently, so that's kind of a wasted priority. That's not a huge issue. Right now I'm going through Hardcore Holly's extended move list, which is all the extra moves that you can't normally set, just to give some variety to the matches, because eventually the matches do tend to look the same, especially if you're running like the same guys over and over again. So I'm just cleaning that up for him. What I really like about Fire Pro is the fact that it's kind of a what you get out of it, what you put in is what you get out of it, I suppose. So you can do like the bare minimum, and it seems like the most basic vanilla game ever. You can put in a little bit of effort, and it tends to open up. You can put in a lot of effort. You can basically build your own game out of it. You can do your own like UI, and you can do your own match types and do all sorts of stuff depending on how far you want to go. Yes, I'm gonna go with D-Lo and Hardcore Holly because that's who I was just messing with. I'm probably gonna stick to this era. It's a fun era to fool around in. It's also really far down my list. If I go back to this, the idea was I'd go through all of these different promotions or groups and I would basically finish the edits, which means, finish off their movesets, finish off some of the priorities, give them extended move list and then call it a day, give their finishing move an exclamation mark to say that they're done. So I did the territories, I was going into Japan, I was going into AJPW, and I tend to do like maybe 20 to 30 per promotion just so it's more manageable. Just because it's really easy to load these things up and you have like 100 edits per promotion, it becomes a mess. So I tend to do like no more than 30 if it's an individual promotion. And then I'll tend to group them in a way where I can put them in matches together. So like 80s and 90s New Japan could go together with basically 80s and 90s All Japan. I mean FMW could probably go with any of them. Stuff like that. The 2000s could probably work with like the tail end of AJPW or Noah or something. That's how I do it. And then I have like a handful of promotions that are just a full promotion with the actual stable. So like New Japan back in like 2019, I think. 2018, 2019. And then a few other things. Let's see. Great Bash Heel. I don't have anyone there for some reason. That's weird. I wonder why I don't. That's basically the old man stable, wasn't it? I think what happened was I took what's his name? Where is he? I took some of the guys and I put them in like 90s New Japan. I think that's what happened. So if I go looking for them, I'll find them there. There they are. It's 2000s, yep. Because in the 2018 era, they're basically low card guys because they're so old. So their stats kind of their stats translate to that, or their stats reflect that. So I could put them in 2000s, I could give them a buff, so they're more like main card guys, closer to how they were back then. And that's why Great Bash Heel's still here, and I think it comes by default, so I can't remove it. So it's just there. I don't know who I'm gonna put in it. I don't know, maybe it just stays there. And then Wrestle Parade, which is really my favorite fantasy promotion. Hannah does really interesting edits. And then there are some edits from other guys, like Michael, I think, did one or two of these, and I just kind of throw them together. Or it might all be Hannah. It's probably all Hannah, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yes, that's a fun one. And then I have a few others from guys I like, most of Senator stuff. Again, just about 10 or so, just so it's not crazy. And then SWA has its own stuff there too. And then the idea that you can kind of throw edits together, which is why most of these are women, because they're all women's promotions. They can do cross-promotional fights and stuff. And what else? And it's a mix and match of stuff. Then I have my own thing here. And then I have mixed martial arts and stuff. But that's enough talking, right? Let's get into a match. Because I will ramble all day. Let's do the shorts. Oh, already have them. Okay, my bad. Now let's do Hardcore Holly. I've always liked Senator's designs. Not Senator, Avengers designs. Senator's designs are good too, but I like Avengers designs just because they're so simple. They get to the point. A lot of his stuff is just a good base, you know? It's nothing crazy. Occasionally he'll have like a really, really out of this world edit, but most of them are pretty like workman edits. And they're pretty good for what they are. They're not like DJ KM's edits, which are, you know, not great to put in the ring, but he does have a lot of them. So again, they're a good base if you want to start from the very beginning, I think. Yeah, they're a solid base for edits. And I feel like that's why you can crank out so many of them, you know? He obviously has a style of editing, you know, he's not doing anything crazy. Sometimes he'll add some moves, sometimes he'll add some parts, but it's generally pretty lightweight. And then you can go in there, you can modify the edit yourself to make it do what you want it to do. And it doesn't take a whole lot of modification either. Yeah, but this isn't Raw's War, this is what, Monday Night Raw? So this is right before the Attitude Era, like literally right before it, like the 90s to mid 90s, I think. It still has that classic ring. I'm trying to remember. I do have, you know, I might actually redo this match. My apologies, because I do have record keeping, but it's based on the ring. So I think I would have to do. Yeah, I do have a record-keeping mod in place that will actually track the wins and losses and stuff. So I want to have that here. And you'll see it. Yeah, there it is. You'll see it at the top, which is the only way I could display it at the time. I've since learned that there are UI elements you could put up there instead of having the text, but this works well enough. I I know Carl did something after the fact where he had his own record keeping mod, and he actually has the records in the nameplate, which I really like. It's one of those things where like a lot of the time Carl will have ideas. Like I'll throw stuff together before he does it because my stuff tends to be more niche, but occasionally like he'll grab something that someone else did in the mod because he liked it, and then he'll incorporate it into his entire framework. When he was still working on mods, like he stopped now for obvious reasons, he's busy, and the mod pack became really bloated, so it's hard to keep up with. And then I think he lost the source code like 2 or 3 times, so it's almost impossible. But even then, the mod pack is massive. I don't think he could have stopped working on it like a few years ago and it wouldn't have mattered. The content still would have been insane. Yeah, like sometimes he'll have an idea and I'll build on it, or I'll have an idea and he'll just integrate it because, you know, it's something he would have liked to do, so why not do it? Or someone else has an idea in a mod, you know, just integrate it. Yeah, but it's really cool because everyone has like their own flavor of doing things, even if it's like the same canvas of a game. Even when it comes to modding, there are like what? Off the top of my head, there are at least like half a dozen people who have created mods for the game, if not more. Yeah, off the top of my head, I can think of 6, and then now Thuni's making his own mods, so call that 7. So we have a whole bunch of different people modding in the community. Most of the time, the mods play well together, just because I think having the mod pack Discord as a hub make the big difference in terms of that, keeping everything with the word. Making sure everything plays well together, I guess. Because like Carl would have gone out of his way to make sure that he has instructions to kind of tell people do this here to avoid conflicting with this, and then people would actually learn from the mod pack when they're learning how to mod, so naturally they'd have stuff in place to kind of avoid stepping on each other's toes. So that's why I can have like I can have this UI mod here from Dino Mods, which is still a work in progress. Don't bother him. He's a busy man. He'll release it when he can release it. That's why I have this, an early version of it. That's why I have my own mods. That's why I have the mod packs. That's why I have stuff from KM Vegas, stuff from Lord 2NZ, stuff from Ace Who Runs the Place. I have a whole bunch of stuff, and it all works pretty seamlessly together. Yeah, so I think the only sad thing is this is probably the last version of Fire Pro we'll ever see. As far as I know, it didn't sell all that well, which isn't surprising. And they had to go through like 3 separate dev teams to get things sorted out. So it was kind of a mess. And then of course it was always a niche idea. I think even to get the original version off the ground, I think Matsumoto, who was the original design lead for the project, had to basically beg for it for like 3 or 4 years before Spike even gave him the go-ahead to make the vanilla version of it back in early access. That and wrestling games aren't all that popular anymore. You know, it's all about WWE now. It's been like that for like the last decade or so, but I don't really think it's going to change at any point in time. It's just about supply and demand, right? So this is from a bygone era that I don't think we're going to see again. And then you also have to recognize that Fire Pro is like a Japanese-based franchise, and Japanese wrestling games haven't been popular in God knows how long. So yeah, so it's nice to have, but I feel like this is the end for it. So it is nice that we have all this unofficial content for it, so we don't need to worry about Spike doing anything else. I feel like it'd be for the best if they didn't do anything else, because it's possible they could release like a shadow update and break a bunch of mods and stuff, and you know, now we have to deal with that all over again. We have to roll back to a previous version, and don't have time for that. Yeah, there's even a whole lot of stuff in the mod pack I haven't touched. People have like custom audiences and all sorts of stuff. They have custom venues for their OC feds where they have like the walls done up and stuff like that. And they have like a history of wrestlers and promotions and factions displayed and all sorts of different things. I think, who's the last guy I watched who had stuff like that? I think Lanky Lefty, when he was still streaming, he had his Warrior Pro stuff going on. I know Amsterdam, when he still did his thing, he had a lot of customer venues too. You know, guys have been busy as well. Life gets in the way, obviously. Yeah, but they have some pretty cool stuff as well. Yeah. What I liked about them was they had like a running storyline where it's like 3 or 4 different promotions, and they'd all kind of had them in the same universe. So they'd have like visiting talent. They would have titles that got swapped. They'd have like shared storylines and things like that. So you'd have like what was it called? What was it? The Luxurious Purple Jacket was like a title, for lack of a better word. And like one guy would win it, another guy would steal it. Someone would make like a promo where they're wearing it or showing it off, or they're throwing it in the garbage bin. It's pretty cool stuff. And I think if I remember correctly in the Discord the other day, Lanky and Terrible were talking about it because they used to have like a shared universe where they had their 2 promotions kind of interacting. And I think Terrible mentioned that something happened in his Fed that caused Lanky's Fed to go on hiatus too. It's kind of just a kayfabe way of saying that they got busy and they couldn't stream anymore, but it was a pretty cool thing to see. Yeah, so just the way that the game kind of encourages that sort of interaction is pretty neat as well. Now let's see, that was D-Lo and Holly. And again, what I normally do is it's a creative thing. I like watching the matches, but I also like kind of getting stuff done. I like to feel like I'm doing something. So I'm going in here and I'm messing with edits before I run a match. So I might do test. I always like test. I'll do test, and I'll probably do test versus Mark Henry. Why not? Yeah, we'll do that next. I'm going to go in, I'm going to go check my edit. I have tools in the background that you can't see, but allow me to just say I want to navigate to test. So let's go to test and bring him up in the edit mode. So I can go directly to him. I don't have to find him. Don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Originally, I made this, and there's a mod pack version of it as well. Carl made this like a couple of years after I did it. But originally I made this because when I first started playing the game, I fell into the trap of having too many edits. I had like what? I had a lot of edits. So just going through the menus to like find guys to potentially modify them became a chore. You know, so I figured I needed some system to allow me to just type in a name and go to where I needed to go. I ended up cleaning up my roster somewhat though. I still have a lot of edits, but it's more manageable for me now. But it's a really good way to just go in there, say there's a guy I want to modify. Let me bring him up. Let me go directly to him. Saves a lot of time. And make this significantly less painful than it would be otherwise. So it's a nice little tool. It's a big boot. Yeah, it is. A running big boot. Nah, we don't have running in the name, brother. We have big boot. Yeah, I've got to fix all of that. Again, my notification or modifier that the edit is done is exclamation mark. So when I see that, it tells me not to touch it again. It's locked, you know? Because again, if you're not careful, you can work on edits indefinitely. And at some point, it starts to feel like a chore, you know? It's probably why I have to run matches in order to get this done. I can't just do this over and over again, like go into an edit, modify it, go into an edit, modify it. Try to do that at one point, but it gets old really fast. So now it's more like I choose 2 edits that are gonna have a match, go in there, modify them, then have the match. And it's also kind of like a testing ground as well, which is really nice. He's a big guy, so we can have that stuff. Going through the move list here for things that make sense. Full Nelson to Flying Mare as test? I don't think so. Nah. And it is a little involved because there are some moves here. I have like a general move list that I tend to apply, but some of the moves don't make a lot of sense. So you still have to kind of trim the list a little bit to make sure you're not going too crazy. Yeah, that's fine. He doesn't need 80 stomping. He's a big 90s guy. That's fine. You can have the old Boston Crab. You can have the pinfalls. I like my guys to have all the pinfalls. Because, you know, it kind of gives you a bit of variety on a really basic move. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it looks good. And sometimes it's as simple as this, ABC, overwrite, and boom. Very simple, straight to the point. Again, the mid-card guys are really easy. They're not doing anything special here. I have a Mark Henry Ruthless Aggression? Really? That's the Dreads Henry? I guess. What I really wished I could have done, and it doesn't work because it clashes with some of what the mod pack does when it comes to titles. Although I feel like I could do it with the mod pack if I really wanted to. It's getting the extra 90s and stuff out of the title cards. So originally I had a mod that would just check the name before it posts it to the title card. And if it sees any type of qualifier like this, it just cuts off the rest of it. So it basically just trims off from here or substrings it from here. That way you could have like Ric Flair 2000s, Ric Flair 90s or whatever, and they would all come out as Ric Flair. Because it's really annoying to have the number in it, just a bit metagamey. I'm surprised that games like the 2K series haven't solved that problem, because it's a really easy problem to solve. By design, you just have like a display name and an actual name that you show in the menus, but you know. It's also one of those things that a lot of people don't really care about, so. Like when it comes to designing features and development, there is a cutoff point. Otherwise, you just kind of go indefinitely, and you'll kind of get lost in the sauce, as they say. Yeah, but Big Splash, pretty simple. I tend to check its parameters to see if there's anything that stands out. There isn't. That's all fine, I guess. I think the only thing you want to be careful of when it comes to a lot of the Avengers edits by default is you want to make sure that they have finishing sequences outside of the main move. And that those sequences can actually trigger. So for example, have all of these moves and all of these sequences, but you know, they don't necessarily result in a pinfall. Now, sometimes I want them to be a pinfall. So I want to do like maybe a 30% on that, maybe a 35 on that, just to make sure that he might pin after it. Otherwise, you run into a situation where they're only trying to hit the big finishing move. And sometimes I want them to win off of something else, because if you're going to watch the matches, you don't want to know that if he hits like a gorilla press drop, there's no way he's going to win off of it, right? Or if he does like a turning belly to belly, which is a signature move, he doesn't win off of it. You want some variation there. Like more often than not, I want him to go for the muscle bomb press, but a lot of the time I want him to try to win off of something else. Just for some variety. So mix that in there a little bit. And then go back to the move list again. And for him, I'm probably going to do pro wrestling, generic. I don't know if he should get giant. Probably not. Just go with that. Yeah. He doesn't need giant. Yeah, we'll keep it at that. What else we got? Does he have big boot? Does that have big boot? What? What is he doing with a big boot? What? Really? Henry? That can't be right. Hold on. Something's wrong. Oh. Okay. I guess he does have it. Is that right? Something's off. I guess. I've never seen Henry do the big boot. I'll take your word for it, Avenger. I don't remember Mark doing that, but hey. I trust him enough to leave it. He does do his research when it comes to edits too. And like I know a few people will say, oh, they're vanilla, they're not very good. They're like, I'm not going to call names, but a few people will say that about his edits, but he also does the research for like everything. So it's like, yeah, they're not the prettiest edits. Yeah, they don't have every single sequence, but he's kind of looked through the matches, which is what most of these guys will do. They look through the matches, they get the information to say, yes, he has actually done this move. You know, he should have this move. They'll actually do the work to figure that out, especially for the real guys. So if Avenger says he has the Snap Oklahoma Stampede, I might keep that. If he says he has the big boot, then I'm going to give him the big boot. Not Oklahoma Stampede, which is a variation of the normal Oklahoma Stampede. Someone pinged me on the work laptop. Oh, God. I don't want to talk about work. glad to have a job. That's about all I'll say about that. But, you know, I guess as I've gone through life, I've learned that you have to be able to use work for what it is, and if you're looking for any type of fulfillment, you have to be able to find that yourself. Unless you're doing like a family job or something. Yeah, but other than that, you kind of have to leave work, accept work for what it is, and not expect anything else from it, or be willing to make what's the word? Be willing to make compromises. You know, so not gonna talk about that, but we got that done. Let me take a look at this laptop. It's probably nonsense anyway, but what do you guys need me to do that I haven't already done? They're gonna say you completed your task too fast. Here's something else, which is my fault, I guess. No, I will not email you the list. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, the current assignment, I've kind of gotten fed up with a lot of the requirements. It's one of those, I don't want to rant about it because nobody wants to hear me rant about work. But it's one of those assignments where they don't want to provide support, but they expect you to provide support in turn. You know, so it's more of a do as I say, not as I do sort of thing. So I just kind of I kind of just do an eye for an eye at this point. It's not normally how I function, but I also don't have the energy to go back and forth. So we're gonna do tests. Let's do young test with the pants. If you remember that test, long time ago. I will do SC Mark Henry. Ooh, we got the red. Do we got the blue? Do we have the blue test? Yeah, we do. But he didn't go short-haired until later in his career, though. When he was with Albert, I think. We can do the silver pants. Why not? And I want to see if I have Full Sail as the proper venue. More like a house show, really. Can you email me the list? Get out of here. No. I have to fight you for 2 minutes worth of information, brother. You can find that list. Okay, here we go. House show, Raw. Yeah, you see, the 90s. It's not a big deal, it just bothers me, you know. I can be a bit funny when it comes to that. A bit of my perfectionism shining through, even though I'm trying to resolve and get rid of it, or handle it a bit more positively than I have in the past. I'm getting better at that, but things like that still kind of irk me. Yeah, this would have been a fun match in real life. Henry's a big, strong guy. Test is just a big guy in general. Tall guy. So again, Fire Pro does a pretty good job of simulating the Attitude Era guys, because they're pretty simple. Like, American style in general tends to be pretty straightforward. It kind of lends itself to video game wrestling really well. I feel like that's why the WWF games were always really good. With the style of wrestling, it wasn't really too hard to suspend your disbelief when you were playing them. You know, it was always pretty straightforward. There were punches, there were slams, there were finishing moves. There's no crazy sequences. So stuff like No Mercy and WTW, what was it, NWO Revenge or whatever it was called. Games like that, all the Aki system games. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to connect to the product you saw on TV. And then the SmackDown games were like that too. Like the GameCube games were like that too, you know. I feel like that's why the 2K games are like that, because they're all pretty straightforward. It'd be harder to make like a AAA game or whatever it's called. Is it still AAA? The Mexican promotions, Lucha promotions. It'd be harder to make a game based on that. Or even like an NJPW game would be really tough because the styles just don't really fit video game space all that well. Like even in Fire Pro, it's kind of it's really like that style doesn't really work. It's not amazing. Like, if you try to simulate it exactly, it leads to really, really boring matches. It's a lot of, like, headlocks going into 5 minutes, and it's just boring. So you have to kind of gamify it a little bit. I know some guys have tried to do it. I've seen them try to do it. That's how I know it's really boring. Because, you know, you can't simulate the psychology between two guys who can make those long stretches of early game time, early match time, not feel like they're stretching out, you know? They don't feel like they're bogged down. Even if it's like a headlock and like trading headlocks and a standoff and stuff like that, they can do other things because they're humans. In the game, it doesn't work. I've never really enjoyed that all that much. Ooh, yeah, that transition's no good. That's a bad move choice for that clutch system type grapple. I would need to go in there, modify the move, so it actually has a more natural starting point. Which I shouldn't be able to do because it's a workshop move, but don't ask me how I can do it. There's a reason why that mod was never shared, and will never be shared, especially right now. Although I think somebody bought it. Like somebody paid money for it, just so he could modify workshop moves, and he ended up as the most hated person in his group. Because he started modifying moves and passing them off as improved versions. Everybody hated him, and then he vanished into the ether, never to be seen again. Yeah, but for the most part, most people don't have access to the mod. Yeah, but I'd need to go in there and modify that move so the start matches up with the clutch. And then that would actually fix that issue. But I can't be bothered because it doesn't happen all that often. I just leave it alone. Also, I realized they just got 1 star. Jeez. Oh, crowd frozen. I hate that. The camera angle does that sometimes. One of the quirks of free cam. Yeah, but they're not very popular, which is why the crowd's pretty sparse. There's not a whole lot of guys in the audience. Yeah, that's gonna be a crappy, 66 ring out, yeah. It's Test and Mark Henry, though. That's fitting. Yeah, but going back to modifying workshop moves, the obvious reason why that mod was never shared, and you can blame me for that, because I made the original mod, is because moves are the hardest thing to make in this game. You almost need a completely different skill set to make moves, you know? Like, it's not even a question. To make even a basic move, you have to understand the tool and a bunch of esoteric stuff that you really have to learn learn through practice. So it would really suck to spend like days making a move and then some guy comes up and makes a minor change and passes it off as his own, right? That's why that was never shared. Oh, we have a question. What happened to the Dino mods? I was so excited for it and he just ghosted everybody. Well, he's a busy guy. You have to remember that modding is a labor of love. And Dino mod stuff in particular is really thorough. Like I did it in my overview video where I was talking about it. It's almost like professional grade stuff in terms of how he did it, what he wants to do with it, how he documented it. So it's a lot of work. So it's a combination of, you know, just priorities, really. Does he have time to work on it? You know, what is he trying to do? What state did he want to release it in? Because I know he had like stuff that modifies memory and tries to clean up like the memory leaks and stuff like that. He has a lot of performance-based stuff in that could easily mess up your game if it's not done properly. So, I mean, he's just busy doing other stuff, for lack of a better term. I'm sure he'll come back someday, but you guys just have to hold out. Just wait. Like, I guess if you were fortunate enough to grab it when you had it, obviously, if you do something and it screws up your save, that's on you. That's why I'm not using the stuff that tries to improve performance and all these other things. I'm doing just the HUD stuff. Yeah, but he's just busy, honestly. And honestly, if he never shows up again, that's his right? You know, Fire Pro is not his job. As excited as everybody is for it, and I get it, you know, he's living his life. So just wait. I'm sure he'll show up. Last time I spoke to him, he still seemed excited about releasing it, so it didn't sound like he was going to just vanish into the ether forever. You know, I'm sure he'll come back when he's ready, which is fair. Let's do Shamrock versus somebody. Let me choose the match first. Let's do Shamrock versus not Blackman. I hated that I hated that what do you call it? That rivalry when it was happening. I hope he releases it soon. Love your stream, by the way. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, I'm excited to see what he does too, but it's just it's hard. As someone who's modded before, it can get really hard to just keep up with it, and then life gets in the way. If you have kids or you have a partner or something, that makes it even worse. You know how it is. It's just life. Let's do Shamrock versus How do you random select again? What is start? That's not start. Christian? Sure, but sure. We'll do the brood Christian versus Shamrock, whatever. Shamrock was like an upper mid card guy. Not that Shamrock, that's the Pancrase Shamrock, wrong one. And obviously he's done. I run Pancrase all the time. Yeah, that Shamrock. They made him a big deal because he was a UFC guy. You know, he was doing the crossover way back in the 90s. I think he did it. Did Don Free do it as well? Maybe when they had that Brawl for All, he might have done it, but he noped out of there really fast. Yeah, but he was a performer, Shamrock, who came from the UFC. He was actually a mixed martial artist, so they made a big deal out of it. He was like an upper mid card guy. Now let me see. Yeah, he's a fun style because he's not really MMA, but he's not really pure pro wrestling. So his moveset's a bit of a mix. So he's going to be more technical, but he's going to have like a lot of joint locks and things like that. Yeah, like the rolling cross leg breaker and all that stuff. And obviously the ankle hold. Yeah, so we'll do that. Let's say the ankle lock. Ankle hold, ankle lock. That's funny. She said send me a list. You get that list on Monday, buddy. Alright, let's go. Ankle lock. Yeah, that works. And then for him, I'm gonna check his priorities. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. He has a belly to back. What does he have as this? That's fine. Does he have the 0 kick though? 5? Come on, buddy. Gotta make that higher. Gotta make that 20. Make that 35. I like to work in like to work in factors of 5. It doesn't really matter. It's close enough that it really doesn't matter. But I just tend to do factors of 5 for everything. It makes it cleaner. And then we'll go ahead and do this. We'll do. What would I give Shamrock? Pro wrestling. I give everybody pro wrestling. MMA, I guess. Yeah, why not? It makes sense. Let's do that. And eventually it's going to get to the point where all of these guys will be done. I'll load up Fire Pro. I'll say, I want to watch a match. Choose these guys. Put them in a match. And then I just choose them and let them go. Like, it takes a little bit of work set up to get it sorted out. But it's, when it's done, you're done. Which is always a good thing. Ooh, head scissors takedown. All right, Shamrock, go on, buddy. We got some technical stuff, sure. Hey, he could do that. Hammerlock, leg tackle. Oh god, he has the MMA stuff. Yeah. Cross arm breaker. Yeah, he's gonna be interesting. Because he's gonna be one of the few Attitude Era wrestlers who are going to the ground pretty often. Yeah, but with that being said, I don't want him to have a bunch of like rough stuff, not a whole lot. Just enough. Okay. Good, I'm just checking the taunts to make sure he doesn't have any priorities. And now I also have to do this, because if he's gonna have a bunch of MMA stuff, I need to make sure that he's not just killing guys on the ground, right? Yeah, that's fine. And the secret about MMA positions, they're normally incredibly overpowered and they shorten a match because of the reversals. Basically anything with a reversal does a lot of damage because it has to factor in the state. You know, it's like you get a second chance to grapple if you did like a back switch or something. You won the first grapple, the back switch does damage, so you have a chance to combo it. So it has to make up for that. So stuff like Rough Escape, what else? Rough Escape is the easiest example. Even off the back switch, because back switches can kill matches too. Where's the reversal? If I can find it. Yeah, the counter. Not that. Like the slamming reversals, like one arm shoulder throw is probably a good example. Back press is probably the most popular example. Like any single damage move like that, when they're reversing out of like a mount position or something, it does a ton of damage. So if you want to get around that, what you can do is set like a submission. So instead of like the instead of the Rough Escape, which does a ton of damage, you can do something like you can do a pin. You can do position change, which doesn't do a whole lot, which is where the workshop comes in handy. You can do like a submission, which is damage over time. And that way you can have pro wrestlers with a lot of mounts without killing your match flow. Yeah, it's just smaller moves. Submissions are the easiest way to handle that though. Yeah, because I think just in general, the way MMA moves are what's the word? Calculated. The game kind of assumes that you're in like a gruesome match or something, so it makes them do a lot of HP damage. So you have to bypass it like that. Or you can just get a workshop move, I guess, that does very little damage, which also works. Let's see. The Unprettier. Yeah, okay. The Unprettier. He's been using that move his entire career, man. Jeez. Crazy. Crazy to think that Christian's been retired for a while, huh? Goodness. I feel like I spelled that incorrectly. Google, help me. Unprettier. I never watched him when he was in TNA. Oh, the kill switch. Yeah. Right, the kamikaze. That makes sense. Tommy Rogers. Yeah. That's true. That makes a lot of sense. Offline? Shouldn't be offline. There we go. Said it was offline. That's weird. Whatever. I'm not really paying attention to that. Oh, we got someone here. Hey, what's going on, man? Now, you normally do the returns matches, I think, where you kind of, you play both characters, right? The name looks familiar. Let me see. Let me check this priority. That's fine, I guess. Like, I would do the frog splash. I hate dives that don't end matches, or at least result in a pin. That's okay, 50-50. That's fine. And then we'll do move logic, we'll do default, we'll do pro wrestling. All the way down. Yeah, missile drop kick, sure. Just going through the move list to make sure nothing's funny, looks funny. Most of the time I don't have to do anything to the move list, they're just there. Just have to double check. Pulp Friction, what? Is that juice? I think so. Hold on, I'm gonna go check. Pulp Friction. It feels like a juice move. I wonder what Juice is doing now. I might look it up. Run up DDT, sure. We can have that finish. I used to like Juice Robinson when I was still watching NJPW long ago. It was fun. Quintessential babyface, basically. Let me see. Gas, fine, powerbomb, whip, what else we got? Sure. All right, cool. Overwrite. All right, I was gonna check something. Sorry. Let me check Juice, because Juice Robinson probably has it. Yeah, I thought so. God, that design. Ugh, that's old Juice. It was a jumping. Yeah, it's a jumping one. Wasn't it? Yeah, but he actually has the move though. Hang on. Right. right. Nah, I'm not gonna do him now. Later. That's one of the problems with this game. The introduction of the workshop makes it really easy to just grab stuff. Like, I've done a better job of keeping the list clean. I have, what, how many moves left in this list? And I may not even download them at any point in time. I have subscribed items. I still have 12 moves in the list from like 2024. And they're really good general moves too. Yeah, but it's like one of those things where you have to be really disciplined about it, otherwise you can bloat your game with stuff. Like, I didn't even realize that I had the pulp friction, right? I was shocked, so. I guess the good thing about moves is that they don't take up a ton of memory. They're not like the original move from back in the day when we had to use the Wazamake tool. So they actually got that under control. Because I don't know how many moves I have. I have so many moves that when you open the list of moves, you can't even see the scroll bar. But fortunately, it's not a huge load on the game. I think Wazamake, every move had to be loaded into the game, into memory when you started the game. So if you had too many moves, that alone could crash your game. But now I guess moves are only loaded when they're needed, which is the right way to do it. So it's not as big as a hit. And then when they're no longer needed, they're disposed of. That's good. That's, it's proper cleanup now. Yeah. Feels like they didn't get that sorted out with parts. Or maybe it's just because they have to load so many parts in at one time. Or maybe they do it like sessions. So like, for example, when you're scrolling through the ring menu, and you have a bunch of custom ring parts, what it does is it loads the ring parts and it stores them in memory until you leave the ring part section, the ring edit section, I feel like is how it works. So if you scroll through a bunch of rings, it loads a bunch of parts and eventually it crashes. Yeah, which makes sense. If you're kind of in one section, you don't want to have to constantly load rings and deal with the ramp up time of loading the asset. But this game is also limited in terms of how much memory it can use. I can't remember what it was called, but it has like a 4 gig limit or something. There's a specific term for it. That's one of the biggest issues with it. It's not really optimized for larger amounts of RAM, like most games. It's an old game though. It's based off of old code that they had to basically pick up and rewrite. Not from scratch, but more like, what's the word? They basically inherited returns code and tried to reuse it for this game, and then that's the foundation they built on. The bad foundation, which explains why it has so many problems. So many technical problems. Yeah, with Christian versus Shamrock, Christian's pretty straightforward. Just basically American style with some junior mannerisms when it comes to moves and reversals and stuff. But Shamrock's an interesting mix, because he's primarily ground American style, but he has like that MMA mix. You're gonna get like a lot of MMA specific moves, which makes sense given Shamrock's career at this point. He would have been in Pancrase, he would obviously in the UFC. Not sure what else he would have done. I don't know, whatever the Lion's Den was doing at that time. This was like mid to late 90s. This was after his UFC run and when he was still kind of touring Japan for Pancrase. He even has the Pancrase gear. That's why he has the leg guards. That's standard Pancrase stuff. The glove and the shin guards and the footwear. That's all Pancrase gear. Yeah, he has some cool technical moves like the snap suplex and the fisherman's. Yeah, he has the Frankenstein art for some reason. I know he did that a couple of times. It's gonna look weird when he gets power bombed to the reversal, but he has it. Yeah, the snap suplex. That's a lot of eye pokes, Christian. Take it easy, buddy. Jeez. It's a lot of eye pokes. What we got going on? Yeah, that's not the back reversal. That's just Christian trying to do like a backdrop or something. You can normally tell because of how seamless it was. That was a move in and of itself. If it was a back crusher or whatever they call it, he would have needed to actually switch and then wait, but he didn't. That's a little different. Do I have something open besides the stream? That's just the stream. I wonder if I can close this. Will it hurt anything? It shouldn't. I'm gonna close that. Yeah, it shouldn't kill anything. Oh, there it is. They're gonna pin? Pin. Oh, well, it's only 30%. That's cool. That's fine. I like giving them the opportunity to pin off of that stuff, but I don't want it to be guaranteed either. Kind of a balancing act. You can do it again. No, just a falling lariat. Cool. I remember what Dino Mods mentioned that he explained the color scheme to me. Why it's different for certain wrestlers versus others. I think he basically said it's like a danger indicator. So certain styles are more in danger when certain parameters hit different thresholds. Which is why Shamrock's HP and like Spirit can be lower than Christian's, but he's still green. It's a stylistic thing. It's like one of those base game mechanics that you'll never learn unless you find it on a Lord Mo guide or something, you know? It's kind of just another way of showing it. Yeah, is he trying to backdrop? Because that's happening a lot. Weird. I wonder what he's trying to do. Be curious to know. Yeah, that's a reversal. Yep. Yeah, it's not even the arm drags and stuff that do a lot of damage. It's the freaking body crasher. Because that's a giant move. They treat it like a giant thing. And all the giant moves do a ton of damage. So just avoiding those moves, you know, can do a lot. Are you mostly a Western edits type player? Today I am. I have a mix of stuff, but you know, like I have a list of edits I'm finishing up or polishing, for lack of a better term, and the Attitude Era guys are way down the list. So instead of going through the list, which was like Japan currently, like a 90s and 2000s New Japan, I just went down to the Attitude Era. So for today, it's primarily Western guys, but I'll do like older Japanese guys, and I'm not really up on the modern stuff. I'll do like fantasy edits for different fantasy promotions that I used to follow, things like that. Yeah, but I used to be a big WWE guy in like the 90s and 2000s, so yeah. Let me see, and then I have like territories guys just because I like the idea of the territories. You get a bunch of different promotions, they're cross-functional. Guys can tour the territories and stuff, so I have a lot of that too. I know guys like, what's his name? DNMT has a lot of Japanese stuff. They could probably check him out. I'm pretty sure he still streams somewhere, probably on Twitch. Yeah, so he has a lot of stuff, and he's more up to date about it. Like he really, really loves the modern stuff, and he'll go crazy with it. So he'll have like the modern appearances and the moves and all that stuff, and the rings and what have you. I've been trying to create fully original pro style edits. It's a much lengthier process than I originally expected. Yeah, creating OC stuff is a task. Just like you have to come up with the idea for the edits, it's a whole lot. You have to come up with the ideas, you have to come up with like the designs, there's a lot of stuff. Like I have like maybe 4 OC guys, and even that took a lot of time, because I had to like develop a system and all that other stuff just to get it running, get it off the ground. I hate when it does that. It's a quirk of the move. It's wild how many of the same games we play. Really? What other games do you play besides Fire Pro? I'd be curious to know. Because I only have, what, like Football Tactics and Glory, Endless Legend, Viv, I guess. Some of this, yeah, I have some pretty niche stuff on the channel. Although I guess Twitch has more stuff. It has like Crusader Kings and stuff. Where's the ankle lock, Shamrock? Put the man in the ankle lock so he can instantly tap. Well, not instantly, not anymore. I have something in the background making sure they at least wait. That's a finish. Sure. Restart at the very end. Yeah, 84. 84 is not bad. Let's do something really fast. I have, let's see. Yeah, like I have a few of those guys. Karl Gotch? Where's Gotch? He's New Japan, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Kami-sama, yeah. Oh, I came over to the channel because of FTG. It's only 2, but finding someone else who plays both is probably 1 in 1 million. Oh yeah. Yeah, that is one hell of a combination, huh? FTG and Fire Pro, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. If you tell me that you play Super Robot Wars, you know, you can probably go play the lotto today and win, guaranteed. What are the odds of that? Yeah, that's a crazy combination right there. Yeah, but Football Tactics is a really good game though. Like it's kind of like Fire Pro in a sense. It's kind of like you pick up and play it for a few minutes, a session here and there, you know, and then you can put it down and come back. You know, they kind of scratch the same itch for me. Let's do, oh man. You see, this is the problem with Fire Pro though. Once you start jumping all over the place, you want to start cleaning everything up. So it's like, I want to use AJ, but I want to finish AJ, and yeah. I'm going to do like AJ versus Nakamura or something. Or maybe I want to go back to Japan and do like new Noah or something. Or new back in like 2018 or whatever it was. Let's do, I don't know. Let's do an AJPW match. Why not? Mix it up. Let's see. Who's a good match? Like the new DLC announcement. Yeah, I mean, I understand why they're doing it. Like, obviously they wanted to do World, but they couldn't do World because of various reasons. So instead they went ahead and kind of split it up into its own DLC while they work on the World portion of it. Let's do Japan. I'm trying to think of a good AJPW match here. I don't want Johnny Ace. I guess, let's do you. And we'll do someone from the territories, which is the only reason why I'm doing this. Let's do Ricky. Why not? Let's do Ricky. Should be fun. And then throw them to All Japan. It's believable. Although Ricky's kind of young to face Kabuki, isn't he? Really? Not 53. You kidding? Yeah, it's about the same. Yeah, sure. Would he be wearing green though in this situation? He might do white to show it off. We'll give him that. Sure. Sure, why not? Japan. And then the territories guys are really versatile because they can go to Japan, right? They can go everywhere. It's always fun. That was the idea behind doing the territories guide first, because I don't have a lot of classic Japanese wrestlers or older Japanese wrestlers, so I needed to give them like opponents. The territories made a lot of sense. Do they taunt in the ring before the match starts? I can't remember. Yeah, they do. That's old school Fire Pro. Back before we had entrances and all they could do was taunt before the match. Like if you ever wanted to turn off entrances for whatever reason, you could just do that and get that portion of it. The crowd is packed because these guys are popular stars. I think it's based on Fire Promoters mode. It has a special thing for the audience where you'll have more or less members depending on like the match, the fighters that are involved, and I kind of spruced it up a little bit. If you have like a popular manager, like maybe Bobby the Brain or something, he can give a little boost to the match attendance and stuff like that. And then obviously if it's like a championship match or something. But then if they're like low card guys, or it's like a low card guy versus a jobber, there's nobody in attendance or very few people. So you can also do a thing where you're kind of ramping up attendance, so you can kind of simulate going through a card. You know, you start with like the low card guys, you ramp up, and as you ramp up, the audience members grow until you get to the main event. That's really cool stuff. Again, I think Fire Promoter does that, but that mode's kind of lacking in general, but I liked a lot of the ideas that it had. So it's like I took a little bit of it and put it into a mod. It's always fun to do stuff like that. Oh, we got the bots in here. I closed my browser. I mean, that's just gonna have to fit. It's annoying, but it's not a huge thing. You know, I wonder if I can't remember. I know the Great Kabuki has like illegal moves, obviously. That's the whole point of the character, but I can't remember how the referee deals with it. Like there's a chance he won't see it, you know. You have to kind of suspend your disbelief. But you know, there's a limit to that. And I think biting is illegal, but they're allowed to do it for a while, so I don't know if he bites. He's not doing Mr. Pogo style stuff. None that crazy. You know, Ricky's running out of steam. He must be cranking submissions or something. Ricky has more stamina than that. 121. I wonder what everyone's doing over here. People said they were leaving early. If one person wants a list, that's so ironic. Not even responding to that, dude. Can I have a list? I'm trying not to be bitter about it right now. It doesn't help. TGIF. I think Senator's streaming today. It's always fun to drop in there and see what he's doing. He has the entire universe of stuff going on. And he has a nice mix of like real matches that he'll do as exhibitions. And then he has his fantasy edits where he'll actually do the storylines and stuff. He does bite, I thought so. Yeah, so he's probably the only fantasy guy I still watch. Like Lanky stopped streaming, and Dan hasn't streamed in a long time. It's really just Senator now. The other people I'm not really familiar with them. I don't really pay attention. But I know Senator also does like cross promotional stuff for some of those guys. Like I think Firehawk is one guy. There's someone else. Yeah, but he still does cross promotional stuff occasionally. Which is cool because it gets other people involved. You know, they want to see their edits on stream. They don't normally stream. You know, they don't really have a following. Not that any of us have a following for this game, but you know, a few people might have maybe 10 guys who show up every week to watch. You can show off your guys on someone else's stream. That's a nice way to do it. Nice little community-driven thing. Oh, he sold it. I was about to say. Like, buddy, do better than that. Oh, didn't pin. There must be a chance to, not pin, obviously. What is this finish? Is it, I don't know. Probably a pile driver. But if it's not an illegal move, it's probably a pile driver. As I say it, he hits him with some mist. The pile driver? The pin, though? Oh, you can still pin, though. You can still pin. Boo, come on. Man, healing it up, even for me. I wanted you to win, brother. Man said no. Oh, that would have been a nice sequence. Missed in the pile driver as I said it. Man said, nah, I'm gonna troll you a little bit. That's a nice thing about Fire Pro, though. You don't know what you're gonna get. Okay, they both sold it, but he got up. The choke. It's actually draining and breathing. Oh well, he's selling everything. In babyface fashion. Yeah, can he come back though? We'll find out right here. He has to win this. Okay, that's one. I can't do anything crazy yet. Okay, never mind. That's it, screw you. Just start. Someone mentioned something about the reversal mod doesn't take the opponent's breathing into consideration when it's calculating the reversal. It only takes your breathing or something, which was a good point at the time. I wasn't thinking about that. A fist drop. Yeah, it took too long. He ran, and it's not a finish, so he got up. Yeah, so Ricky has to breathe or else all of his stuff is going to get reversed really soon. Okay. Not too far from the corner. Doesn't matter, he's got that one. Yep. Probably almost won. Yeah, Ricky still has voices. Like some of the territories guys have it, but most of the time I don't like it. That's obviously not the real voice, but it's a different philosophy back in the day. I was thinking about that. He might go to the top off of that. Yeah. I tested this so much, I kind of just know. Like, Ricky used to be one of my favorite wrestlers back in the day, so he gets tested to hell and back. Ricky, Flair, a bunch of guys. Ray. Ooh, nice reversal. Haven't seen that in a while. I've not seen that in a long time. Yeah, they get tested in every which way, so I just know what they're gonna do based on the situation now. Like, there are even certain mods that I made for specific wrestlers. Like the wake up mod was for Shawn Michaels, literally for Shawn. So I could do the kip up after the elbow drop. So I just needed to see him do it once to know that it was working. Is he gonna climb? Nah. He might. Nah, not off of that. I think it's very specific for Ricky. He has to hit one of like 3 or 4 moves to climb. Yeah. Otherwise we'll just do the chicken one. Okay. He won somehow. Came back. 100. Ah, boo. Nonsense. Should have been 100, guys. What else we got? Let me see if this style has been working. Can I just pick up and play certain edits? I can for some guys. Like for me, this is Fire Pro in its ultimate form. I just want to play a match. I just want to pick a guy. Let's pick a guy and play a match. Sean's not done yet. Ooh, okay. Sean's not done. It's weird that Brett is all the way over here. It kind of makes sense. But then Sean's here too. There's that Sean. 94 Sean. Yeah. Oh, I have Razor Ramon? Okay. All right, buddy. I guess I dabbled in these guys. I think what I normally do is I'll play a match and I'll when I play the match I'll modify the edit, which is why some of these guys are done and the others aren't. But let's see. I might even have some MMA guys done right now. Wouldn't be surprised. Give me Dr. Death. I guess. Dr. Death, the man who lost all the matches and then came back to become a champion. I remember I was using somebody's Dr. Death edit and it was really bad. It was really, really weak, so he would lose more often than not. So now when I was testing the what do you call it? The record keeping mod, he had a losing record. It was hilarious. He was like what? He was like 4-32 or something. I even have a guide that shows it as an example of someone who might become unhappy and leave. It was really funny. I don't know, let's keep it in Japan. But I need a match though. Give me a match. If we're gonna do Dr. Death, I don't know, Kobashi, sure. Let's do a big match. Why not? I'll go to the Tokyo Dome, why not? Ooh, reminds me of that Kobashi Move Pack project long time ago. I might still have that video. I need to look for it. It's a pretty good video. I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, 12 and 24. His record's still there. I never updated it. Yeah. Poor guy. Poor Dr. Death. Yeah, but at least his morale doesn't suck. Does he come out in the coat? He should. The jacket. He better. You know how long I worked on this? He better come out in the jacket. Dr. Death was supposed to come out in the robe, though. What happened there? I'm actually gonna check it, sorry. I gotta double check. Feel like I did something wrong. Yeah, he comes out in black. He comes out in the 96 outfit. Sure, Tiger Hattori, whatever. Yeah, he had like 3 and 20 or something. I had to completely redo the Dr. Death edit. It was so bad. There it is. Right. I just chose default. Okay. Cool. Like, who's supposed to come out in the jacket? He was the Kenta Kobashi of the territory for a while there. It's pretty bad. He's fine now, though. Yeah, but I need to find that video. It's really good. I think I made it as like a move pack video, if I remember correctly. I think I made one for the Lucha pack too. That's a long time ago. Yeah, but it's really good. Ooh, we got a custom tie-up. Okay. Custom test of strengths. That's not a bad one. I think giving it a random chance to do the normal test of strength was still a good idea. But we don't always get this. You know, you never know when you're gonna get it. Sometimes it's the usual just push back and forth, and sometimes it's a custom move. Like, it was really hard to test though, because you don't always get a test of strength during matches, right? And then when you don't get the custom test of strength, you don't know if it's working. It took forever. Like, a lot of the times you want to just test a specific scenario, but you also want to see what it looks like in a normal match. Because, like, if I set it to always do a test of strength, like right here, that's a custom test of strength. When it triggered the test of strength move. Like, if it always does the custom test of strength, or always does the test of strength on grapple, it's hard to tell what it looks like in production, I guess. It goes live, so. Testing a mod always takes a lot of time. That's usually when I do different things at once, so it's not just testing the mod, it's also like testing an edit, tuning logic, stuff like that. Kind of multitask a little bit. And I need to find that Kobashi video. I'm surprised that I don't have it saved. That thing was so good. I'm actually gonna go look for it right now. Can't believe I don't remember where it is. Let me see. Let me see. Now there's no way I lost it. There's no way. Let me see. There's that. Profile pack. Quality assurance, buddy. I made that. Get out of here. Let's see. No. There's no way I deleted that. It's somewhere. It's just been a long time ago. I'd be mad if I deleted it. Let's see if I can find it. No, that's not it. That's a tribute. I have it somewhere. I don't think I have the video though, do I? That date. Nah, I have it saved somewhere. Yeah, but it's kind of like a career video of Kobashi when he was losing, and then he started winning, and they had like all of his big matches against like obviously Steve Williams and a bunch of other guys. It's kind of just showing off moves in the move pack. It's pretty cool. He has some of those moves in the game at least. He just went to the headlock. Yeah, I probably have it saved in my Google Drive or something. Most likely. I feel like I did something for the Lucha project too. Yeah. Yeah, because I was using Guacamele's, one of Guacamele themes for that. Those videos are somewhere. I gotta find them now. I'm kind of stuck on it. Let me see if I can remember where they are. It's gotta be Kobashi. Right. There we go, Kobashi pack. No. Looking for Kobashi. That's 2020, really? Would it be Mooncrest? Lucha pack. Oh, these are the moves. Ugh. Maybe I did get rid of it. Oh. I feel like an idiot now. That's something I should have saved. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I don't have it anymore. Yeah. Make me feel bad, man. Yeah, it's gone. Must have deleted it at some point. Oh well, back in 2019, it was a long time ago. Crazy to think that was 2019, man. Wow. Yeah, I remember that. That was old. And I think I did a Lucha video too. Yeah, that's back when I was still learning how to do how to video edit a long time ago. Ooh, lariat. Punching lariat. What list? What are you talking about? I don't know what they're talking about, or do I really care? Yeah, I'm doing a new project. Also involved video editing and like night and day. Crazy how much you can learn from simple hobbies, huh? Almost feels like if I wanted to do like a professional grade job with it, I probably could at this point. Now that I'm looking. Lariat. Oh! Pin that man. I haven't been paying attention to the match, but it's probably a good one. Oklahoma Stampede? Yep. It's called it. At a certain point, you work on the edit so much, you know what's coming. At the proper time for it, anyway. At the reversal, what are you gonna do? Oh. What are we going for? Oh, he was going for the moonsault, wasn't he? He's gonna do it anyway. Yeah, he's gonna do it anyway. He's going for it. Yeah. Oh, the guy's going for the chops. He was trying to set up for the moonsault. I don't know if he'll do it now. No, he has to do the setup. That's one of the only situations where they have to do the setup for it. Oh, well, you did. Lucky boy. He's gonna pin anyway, though. Oh boy, that spirit boost. He can go for it now. Oh, if he hits it now, it's over. He has the attack boost going right now too. Oh, it's over. Yeah. The perfect time to hit it. Ukemi kicked in. Yep. He's in the window where he has the attack boost. He hit the finisher. He gets the boost from finisher. Only way it could have been worse is if he taunted first. Another sure kill move though. Yep. Another good finish. I'm assuming the rest of the match was really good. Let's see. Yeah, to go from that to something lesser though was tough. The only problem. That's why I didn't want to do that match. It wasn't the best choice. Now let's go back to the West. Let's see, I was doing Monday Night Wars. Tag matches in this game suck. That's not always true though. I found out the only way to really make them bearable is to play one wrestler. And then basically you're like setting up different tag spots. That's the only way it works. Otherwise it's really bad. But, you know, is what it is, I guess. Well, let's do the Rockin' somebody. I feel like it. Let's do the Rockin' Shawn. Why not? It's kind of hard to go back to mid-card fights after that. And that's really the only way to make it work. There's one Rock. We don't use the old Rock around here. That man doesn't exist. The Bald Rock. We got the original. It's gonna take a while. I can already tell it's gonna take a while. Let me see. I don't think I need to do a whole lot, though. Because there are certain moves he's just not going to do anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's not the pinning version, is it? It's not. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll see. Oh, the people's elbow is the finish. I respect that. It actually is the finish, though. Impact elbow drop. Get out of here, guys. We know what that is. I can't remember. Is it a mod pack thing or is it my own thing? Where if you hit a running finishing move, they actually stay down. I can't remember. I think I did that. And then Carl might have adapted it at some point. But like one of the issues with the base game is if they have like a running finish, they're still recovering while they're on the ground. So when you finally hit the finishing move, you know, by the time you hit it, they've already recovered. So you can never really pin after it. You'll have like a lot of creators, like for example, Hulk Hogan has a custom leg drop that pins automatically, for example. You have a lot of creators that have like running moves that end in a pinfall. Yeah, I think I created a mod that I'm gonna remember when you get hit with a finishing move like that, like a leg drop or a people's elbow, it adds recovery, so the guy has a chance to actually pin you. Because if it didn't do that, it would be a nightmare. You'd hit the people's elbow and they'd wake up and stuff. It'd really suck. Let me see, I'm pretty sure I've done The Rock already. And if I haven't, I'd be surprised, but let's do this. Yeah, you can have the arm drags. That's also the old Rock before I did a bunch of other stuff. That's understandable. He's not going to have everything. Nor should he, but I need to go through and clean it up. I don't know why he has the dive, but I don't think he ever actually does it. Kind of like a placeholder move, really. Ooh, we got all the arm wrenches, buddy. Yes, sir. That's fine. I'm not a huge fan of the leg hold twist for everyone, but that's fine. He doesn't need to take down to the guard. He can have the suplex position. We don't use the original neck breaker around here. Let's see. Yeah, he has most of it. Ooh, he has a rock bottom pin. I remember that. They still call it the one arm slam. Yeah, you can tell I haven't done anything with him yet. I'm really gonna have to do this. Reset and refresh. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. That's fine. Reset and refresh. Yeah, if he still has the one arm slam, this is old Rock. So it doesn't really matter. Makes sense, okay. We got the sidekick that doesn't go into the sharpshooter for some reason. Why not? What determines the sharpshooter? Nothing, I guess. Let's see. I guess he doesn't have to go into the sharpshooter. It's not a requirement. 80 stomping. I feel like someone has a Rock stomping online, but I really don't want to overload him with moves. So it can just stay like that. Let me see what else we got. Yeah, sure. I'll put him in a match against Sean. Okay, yeah. Stand up. Doesn't he have the kip up? He should. I can check. And he's done. That was faster than I expected. Wow. Look at the recoveries. I'm pretty sure he has the kip up. Let me see. What I call it? I called it recovery taunt because Carl already called it the wake up taunt. Oh, he's not in the list. What? Oh, there he is. Right. Right, he has the kip up. Right, yeah. Yeah, he would have to have the kip up. It's like, what? We have 3 versions of Sean, because of course we do. Let's see. He should have the elbow drop. Right, he has a special elbow drop. That hits them in the stomach, apparently. Right. And he has a moonsault, sure. Feel like I've done Sean already. Almost certain. Yeah, the special pile driver too. Come on, man. Yeah, definitely done something with Sean before, if he has all of that. Yep, and then he has that, yep. Alright. Yeah, man has everything. There we go. Do I need to do anything else? Nope. Nope. I'd be surprised if I have to do anything here, if I'm being honest. We're gonna find out, though. For sure. I wonder if I should make him technical. Nah. I'm gonna be able to tell right now. Yeah, that's a pinfall. Can't finish match. I mean, yes? Right, okay. Yeah, I've already done Sean. I just didn't, what's the word? Didn't mark him as done. Yeah, so he's done. I felt like he was done. Yep, thrust kick, yep. He's done. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say that a lot. Oh, did the pile driver supposed to finish? No, okay, that's fine. That's fine, he might pin after it, he might not, that's fine. Yeah, the shin breaker, which goes into nothing. It's just a special shin breaker that everybody gets now, which makes sense. It's a better shin breaker than the original, so that's why he has it. What else we got? Okay. What about the corner? Nothing really. I mean, I give him the punching rush, and I can give him like the Irish whip, and then I can give him the running attack. Or maybe just the punching rush. It's really cool. The Irish whip and running attack is basically the whip that they use for tag teams. So it normally doesn't work because they'll recover during it, which, you know, that sucks, but the standalone move is not bad. The crotch chop into the jumping elbow, which means they all have to have that. Crotch chop into the elbow, apparently. Which is what? Top rope jumping elbow, buddy. Get out of here. We're not doing that. It's into the let's see, heartbreak elbow. Do I still have the jumping elbow, or that old? That's just old. I haven't done that yet. 085. I gotta do that one again. It's a little bit of work, but hey, you know, that's Fire Pro, right? You get what you put into it. I think we're done. Yeah, we're done. Okay, cool. Excuse me, man. I have a bunch of match types, but I normally keep it simple. It doesn't need to go crazy. Like, for argument's sake, I could do a cage match, I guess. Sure. I don't use the rule because a lot of the cage matches suck, if I'm being honest. Or the cage match logic isn't good. You'll give him the red, the original. And we'll give him the blue, the electric blue. And we'll go to something that actually tracks their records. And we'll do it in Madison Square Garden. I think you can do it in other venues with some mods, if I remember correctly. And then it's only pinfall because we don't do We don't do climbing. If I remember correctly, yep. I think I'd have it at 7. It's a nice little mix so they're not constantly he can't get in. Right. Whose mod does this? I can't remember. And then they try to climb. Right. That's cool. Yeah. Have it at 7. It's a nice mix between quick grapples and no sliding. You set it any higher, they start to slide as they quote unquote crawl to the ropes. I think that's a Cam Vegas mod, isn't it? So they'll actually taunt outside and then climb up, and then it will fade. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool quality of life stuff people made. And then we got the black, the classic black for this one, for this venue. I think we also have we have the baby blue cage too. And then we have the default stock ring for some of the other venues. It's pretty cool. I kind of miss having the electric fences though. The electric ring cage from, what was it, D maybe? I feel like D had the electric cage. I miss that. There's something else about the cage, it makes it harder to see what's going on. But it does keep the action in the ring though. You don't have to worry about guys falling outside or anything stupid like that. It's also really cool that you can use it in the other venues. So like you have the reskinned Korakuen Hall. And that's pretty neat. Trying to remember what Sean has. Okay. So I feel like Sean and The Rock have their own custom stuff when it comes to like the headlocks and the wake up taunts and stuff like that. I can't remember. Yeah, we'll find out. I need to go make lunch. I've been sitting here for almost 2 hours. Not even paying attention. I'll go do one more match after this and I'll go make lunch. Shut it down for now. Yeah, besides the occasional glitchy animation because of the tie-up, the way the tie-up, custom tie-up mod works, I never figured out how to get the positioning sorted out consistently. Everything else seems fine. Haven't really seen anything that looks off. It's not like I would fix it today anyway. I'm done working on mods for this game, man. It'd be a hassle to deal with. No kip up? Boo. It's random, that's fine. I don't need to know when they're gonna do it. We'll do it eventually. Or maybe not. Okay. Oh well, he's not gonna do it. If he's starting to fail, then it's too late. He can... It might be random. I'm not sure if he has a list of things he'll do. What's going on here? You guys are supposed to be done for the day. Go home. Oh. Whatever. There's nothing going on that I need to care about. Oh, that's the clutch. I have a few moves like that. I have the suplex, I have the backdrop, I have the pile driver. And I think that's it. I might have one more. There it is. Thank you for doing it. I appreciate it. That's a good time to do it too. Because Sean was going to recover immediately based on how that thing works. Yeah, I feel like I have the backdrop might go into like a German suplex. I can't remember. I have maybe 4 of those. It's supposed to be based off of King of the Colosseum. The fact that every grapple is actually a clutch that goes into other grapples that can go into multiple moves. It was based on that. Pain in the ass to create moves for, though. It worked out. Okay, so The Rock did the kip up. That's cool. It'd make my day if Sean did the sequence. He would kind of validate the whole reason for having that mod in the first place. Like literally the reason why I made it. And so he could do the elbow drop and then kip up into the super kick. That was it. You gonna do it? Do it! Oh, so close. So close. Oh man, he did the wrong one. Oh, that would have been it. I could have shut down the stream right there, man. But yeah, he has to be more damaged because it's a late stage sequence. Oh man. That's so close. Yeah, but it's like the same reason I made the headlock replacement, or the mod pack did it, I think, was because like I would see like Rey Mysterio dragging guys and then hitting them with the elbow, and I didn't like it, so I said Rey should do something else. Let's give him the stock arm drag that you normally do after what, the test of strength, I think. So it started with the stock moves. You could do like the knuckle arrow, you could do the drop toe hold, you could do the arm drag. There was something else. There were a few moves that you could do based on the test of strength finishes. And then I said, let's make custom moves, because why not be able to do stuff like that? Like a basic punch, right? Or maybe a setup for a finish or something, I don't know. Oh, did this thing trigger? Sean beating his ass, man, jeez. Yeah, so a lot of the mods come out because like you have an idea, something you want to see, and then it becomes a mod. I think that's the healthiest way to do it. That way you're not, you're able to use it immediately. Which I feel like is the most important thing. You make something, you want to be able to utilize it as soon as possible, you know? Now this situation, it's interesting. Sean's whipping him. Rock can come back. Liu Kang already triggered though. Rock can come back. Ugh, not like that. He's gonna roll over. No. God, he no-sold that like immediately. What does he have to do to come back? Is a question. Not that. He has to win grapples. Like if it's medium damage range, he has enough moves. Mount an offense. Okay. That's yeah, okay. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I thought he was going for it. It's kind of early for that, though, isn't it? I can't remember if he does the people's elbow off of the DDT. He might. That's a Samoan drop. Okay. Okay, and he's selling it, so he's going to be down longer. Okay. Perfect storm scenario. He might do it off the DDT. That's the punches. No, he's going for the spine buster. Got it. Yeah, he just didn't aim it properly. Yeah, if the Rock gets going, he can bring it back immediately. Oh, he's gonna climb. Boo. He does the elbow drop too early in a match. I'd probably modify that. We'll save it for later. We've done it like 3 times. We're gonna hit him with the rock bottom, isn't he? Oh, he's going for that. Why is he doing that one? What is it about the corner? I'm not even sure. You know, sell it. Oh. Like sometimes they'll aim for the corner even though they're supposed to hit the horizontal width. Yeah, he does do it off the DDT. I thought so. Oh, but yeah, bad positioning. And he was down, so. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. They came back in a hurry, though, huh? Oh, luckily he's selling that. Ooh, Sean. Oh, come on. That was a cheeky win after all of that, man. That roll up. Fair. There's one thing I need to fix for Sean. He does that elbow too often. Way too often. Let me fix that. It is a video game at the end of the day, but we can make adjustments. Yeah, buddy, you go for it way too often. I guess if he was down that quickly, it makes sense. Yeah, but I don't want him doing it there at all. We can do not ascend, I guess. What is running big down? What's that? Running big. Oh, you know what it is? It's the I know what it is. Hold on. It is, if I can find it. Yes, elbow. Yeah. Figured. It's a flying elbow, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sometimes things line up like that. So you get guys spamming moves when they normally wouldn't do it. Barbed wire deathmatch. Only good if you don't want them to climb. Ooh, lucha tag. I don't have anyone who can really run it though. Let's do one more. What can follow that one up? I don't know, Austin versus Triple H or something, who knows? The game. I feel like this Triple H didn't have a beard, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Pants Triple H didn't have a beard. The tights. So maybe we do that, I guess. Let me go fix that. What are the 2000s? I guess. I mean, sure. He's not supposed to have a beard. Oh, Kenny Omega. That's wrong, buddy. Delete. There you go. That looks like him. Yeah. He was clean shaven during this time. And he also had purple. I kind of prefer the purple, if I'm being honest. Wasn't a huge fan of the green. Let's make a change there. Yeah, I prefer the purple. And I should just be able to do that. Kind of like that a little bit. Yeah, I was always a bigger fan of the purple tights. There you go. And then if it's the 90s, I can always do this. I can copy and swap, which is a nice little tool they added. Yep. And I can save that for later days if I still want to use it. The name is wrong though, but you know, it's fine. It should really be 90s Triple H, but that's okay. It's not a huge deal. And they still have the voices, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Do they have the knee? That's not the knee I'm thinking about. Let me see if I can find it. Not that. Like, he has the right knee. It's a rough attack, I think. Ugh, I'm not gonna find it like that. There it is. Basically, I don't remember if he rolled, but he had something like that. If someone's online and they remember, they can tell me. I feel like he had the knee drop. Like Ric Flair did it, Harley Race did it, Trips did it because they did it. That's why he had the Indian Deathlock too. Yeah, I feel like he had the knee. We can stick with that. Does he have the crotch chop? He better have it. Yeah, let's go. Let's go with time down here.
Two.
Was he the game at this point? I don't think so. What was his nickname at this point? He was still coming off of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, I think. Yeah, the game was a 2000 thing. Yeah, he was just Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Right, the game was like late 90s, early 2000. I thought so. Yeah, we're gonna take that off. He was not the game, buddy. He was just Triple H. There you go. Let me check his priorities just to make sure we good. He should be fine. Pick up opponent after the crotch chop, I guess. Sure. Why not? Is that okay? Yeah, and it's the signature, which matters in this game. It gives you a slight spirit boost. It's really small. I think it increases if it's a finisher, though. So if you wanted to give someone someone a way to recover health, you could do it by giving them signature and finisher taunts, which is interesting to say the least, right? Then they kind of have to spam the taunts basically. But it works. A different way of making an edit. I think the next edit I make, like the next fantasy edit I make, I'm gonna make it based on that design. Like maybe he has like a Undertaker or a zombie or I don't know, immortal type theme or something. And he's just hard to kill, hard to take down. Might work. What else we got? Pro wrestling back elbow. We got a few of these. We got the 3D suplex, which I was gonna get rid of, but I kept it. I don't think he pins off of that. Double faith buster, or double arm faith buster. Backdrop position, heavy low blow. Low blow pin? Man's supposed to hit you with a crotch chop. Come on, buddy. I'm supposed to let you know where you got hit. DX stuff. We'll do that, and we'll do like 50. Yeah, I don't know, like 75 maybe. Or we'll just keep it as is, and that's what, 45-20. Pin it head. Sure. Okay, 45-20 works. Sure. Probably going to be the last match. I've been playing for a while. Quote unquote playing, right? Fire Pro. Yeah, but I've been on it for a while now. 2 hours is enough. And I'll probably play something else later. I might do football tactics later. I'm going to ask Cause if he's fine with us doing, streaming the beta. He normally doesn't care. But I'll ask anyway, just to be polite. I might just run through that. This is nothing new, really. If you've seen what I stream for World, it's going to be very familiar. Let me see. We'll do you. And we'll do... Oh, well, it's okay. It doesn't matter. I was going to say I should make all of his crotch chops a signature, but it doesn't matter. Throw him up against Austin, because why not? It makes sense. The reason I'm even doing the Attitude Era stuff is because I was watching, like, 2K-related videos. 2K26. The whole idea of the Attitude Era guys being locked at all was pretty funny, so... It's like I want to play a game that gives you all of the guys from the beginning. So, I'll play this. feel like he has everything already. I don't think I need to do a whole lot. Yeah, pretty sure I don't need to do anything. Does he have 2 stutters? What? What does he have 2? Oh, no he doesn't. He has something else. At feet. Oh. That's interesting. At head. That makes more sense. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. Oh, my God. I forgot he had that. Oh, man, it's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yep. Oh, man. No, I'll leave it alone. If I do anything with that move, it's gonna spoil it. I'm like, what? What is he doing with that? That makes perfect sense. He doesn't need the axe bomb. Oh man, that's perfect. Let me see. We'll do rough punch. I mean, heavy hook works for him. He doesn't need heavy punch there. And like his moveset's pretty straightforward too. If you know anything about Austin, he's just a brawler. I mean, that's basically what he does. He can obviously we don't, do we want that? I guess. I don't really want it though, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I'm gonna remove it. Yeah, we're removing that. We don't want it. Yeah, get rid of that. But we're missing something there, aren't we? He also needs to remove that. Reset and refresh. We're gonna do that. Yeah, we go. Yeah. There we go. There you go. Hopefully that means I don't have to do this again. Elbow drop. That's different. Why do they have that? Do I have edit logic maybe? Ah, yeah, I do. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've done Stone Cold already. I thought so. Yeah. If he has that as a sequence, I've obviously done something with his edit. Yep. We get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's hilarious, though. Wasn't even thinking about that. Mudhole Stomp. Oh, the corner stomp. Yeah. I just gave it a name. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, that's hilarious. I completely forgot he had that. Now, is he gonna hit it, though? I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I hope so. Yeah, that's Triple H. Yep. The one I was thinking about was, where is it? Was this one. Although he's Old Man Triple H, which is probably why I have another, I have the game over there, you know? That makes sense. I feel like I should have... Give me a second, I'm going to take a look. Yeah, let me see. I feel like he has another appearance that's locked. No, it's just the old one. That's alright. That's Old Man Trips. I have a 2000 version too. Or the 90s version, I guess. Give me... Did I have another Austin? Why do I have that? No, I think it's just how I categorized them at the time. I'm pretty sure I only have one Austin. Like for the Undertaker and guys, sure. And maybe Angle because of TNA, but feel like I have one Austin. We can do Karakuin, that's fine. Okay. Oh, sorry. 7 losses? What? At least he's not mad about it. He's probably fighting top tier opponents, The Rock, Undertaker, Kane, if I get it. I'm not really building a record, it's just whatever happens. Oh, 1 star for the body slam. Okay, Meltzer. Sure. There are other icons you can use. I had to actually make a star icon. I think it's originally like Meltzer and some other heads that it uses. Tony Khan. I wanted the retro feel, so I did the star. It works for me. Also, a cool thing you can do is that. So if I can click it, boys, that's also pretty cool. You can turn it on and off. If I don't want to see it, I can just do that. I appreciate that it's using the in-game UI, because needing to enable it and disable it via WinForms is painful. That's to be the worst part about modding this game, that a lot of it is WinForms, if you don't understand Unity. And I don't understand Unity. That's pretty cool that you can turn it on and off. Kind of makes it feel like a modern game in a way. It's like how you can turn off the HUD in the 2K games. That's pretty neat. Austin, do the thing. Do the thing, Austin. Gotta end the match with the thing. Go see. Is he gonna roll with it? Yeah, he's just gonna, yeah. You can do a bunch of different versions of it. Just never sure what he's gonna do. I kind of wish that there was a delay when things like that happen. Like if they're gonna hang on to the ropes or they're gonna wake up when you're about to dive. I kind of hate how the game is working on the timers in the background, and it doesn't try to emulate or simulate the idea that it's a player trying to react to what's happening. So it kind of gives things away. Like sometimes I want to see him try to dive and miss because they mistimed the dive, you know? Like things like that. I want to see him continue running until the guy actually gets up. That's one of the worst parts of this game, is that everything's running based on the timers. And there's not like any type of lag or simulated reaction time. It's not great. But like even for things like submissions, if it's late in the match and they're damaged enough, in the base game, if you block in a submission, they just instantly tap. I had to add like a 3-second counter to give the ref a chance to actually ask if they give up once or twice before he calls it, you know? Or things like that. Like if it's supposed to be a wrestling game, simulate it a little better, you know? Like I get it's a video game, but still. Oh, he didn't fall. I said nope. Oh, he's fighting it. Never mind. And he fell on it anyway. Oh boy. He was fighting it. Base. How could it be anybody but Hunter? Goodness. I know there's an Austin face, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't really like the realistic faces. Unless you're using edits that also use the same style of face, I'm not a huge fan. They just kind of throw everything off. Like I know a lot of guys make edits that use the faces, but they have to basically stick to the style. So it's like you can't use any of the edits with the old style faces. Unfortunately, we have a lot of higher fidelity faces now, though. But early on, it was a nightmare to mix and match. Okay, he's not falling. Weird. Is that the reversal variant, or is that just his normal move? It might be the reversal variant. I wonder. Did you have that list of reversal type moves? That the knee? Yeah. You have to punch, probably. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna hit the clothesline? Does he pin after that? Maybe. Not sure. Ooh. Okay. Too bad he can't crouch chop after that. That's just a generic reversal. Why are you running, though? Oh, someone's tired. Damn it, Austin. Oh, well, that works. His discretion must be low. Oh, my God. The knee drop. Oh, come on, Austin. Boo. At least he's coming back, apparently. Right? Jeez, down for a while. Downtime must have carried over. Oh, come on, guy. Okay, that works. I need to see the finish, Austin. I hyped it all up when I was there fixing up the edit, finalizing it. You gotta do it, though. Otherwise, that was pointless. Oh. Come on. What? What are you doing? Going for it again? Okay. Not guaranteed. It's like 95%, but still. You can hit him with it again. Should have pinned, buddy. The stomping. There it is. He's not gonna do it yet. Oh, come on, man. Do it. Was that the punches, probably? Yeah. American style punches. Right on the board. It's finally gone. Get some spirit back. Hit him with the double birds. Stomp a mud hole in him. Oh, God. That's a lot of damage. That's a ton of damage. Like 6 unanswered attacks. A crazy amount of damage. Oh, not again. Oh, he's not gonna do it. It's over. Okay, hold on. Oh, but he's down again. Oh, come on, man. He might do it. Wait. Who says? Nope. God, he needs to breathe. He refuses. Yeah, his discretion must be low. There it is, finally. Breathe, man. Now end him. Yeah, it must be his normal version of it. Next finisher wins, probably. Yeah, he's gonna pick him up. No? Just a knee drop. There it is. Now he's gonna pick him up. Yep. Oh. There it is. Is he gonna do it? Yeah, he did it. End the match. That's right, ref, take it home. I completely forgot he had that. Oh man, it's not even a guaranteed trigger, so he might have missed it there too. Hilarious, hilarious. Hit him with the trash talking on the ground. Oh man, I should make that an exclamation mark move too. Hit him with a stone cold. Kind of punctuate it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh man. Yeah, when I saw that sequence, I knew I'd already touched him and finished up everything. That's why it was so quick to finish. Let me see. Is that? I would have to go find the move in not extended move, miss, rename move. I can't remember who made that. It wasn't Lanky. Lanky made the elbow drop. Someone made it. God bless you guy for making it. It's perfect. It's hilarious. Import. I'm not trying to import. I'm trying to rename, buddy. Add. There you go. That works. I don't think I need to override anything. Nope. That's a fun one. And then he's able to pin. And the funny thing is that move also does damage. So it's like he hits the finisher, then he does more damage, and then he pins you. It's amazing. It's good stuff. Anyway, I'm out of here. I've been doing this for a while. I'll probably come back later and do, what do you call it? Football Tactics and Glory, if anybody's still around and interested in that. I just need to double check with Cause first. What is it, like 2:30 now? Maybe like 6 o'clock or something? You know, we'll see though.